Ye who accompany the bear to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of Ra, ever advancing onwards the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine, which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is me, and I am him. Mine is the radiance, wherein Ta floateth over the firmament. I travel upon high, I tread upon the firmament of Nu. I raise a flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on the splendor of the
My third eye's open, I can see past the commotion. I can get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My third eye open, I can see past the commotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm guaranteed to check like TSA. One in a million like a
Grand day. Grand day, grand day. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the SaCrEd LiGhT Community Nightcap. I am your divine host, Marcus Christo LiGhT. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Go ahead and get yourself comfortable and settle in. Don't change the channel. Don't change the YouTube video. And grab your crystals, get some tea, some good water, maybe some cacao, burn some sage. Hit that share button, share to some community, to your loved ones, this beautiful space of empowerment, self-knowledge, and coming to awareness of our power within through these tools of self-mastery that we are going to discover and journey through tonight as we continue in this series of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean. We had just wrapped up the first tablet last week on Thursday. And the first tablet went over who Thoth the Atlantean is. And we got to hear a little bit of his perspective and his story about his lifetime and perception during Atlantis. So we learned about Thoth, and we also learned a little bit about how Atlantis fell as well as a civilization. And I'm gonna go ahead and allow you guys to kind of take a rewind to last week's episode, as you guys would come take a flashback with me and explore last week.
My third eye's open, I can see past the commotion. I can get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. How the dimensions been going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My third eye open.
If you're someone that really wants to be an alchemist, self-master, or you like to integrate knowledge of how energy is and how the universe has been designed as the I am, this is definitely for you, as this is blasted I them a path to Amenti, so that I might retain my powers, living from age to age, a son of Atlantis, keeping the wisdom, preserving the records. Great grew the sons of Chem, conquering the people around them, growing slowly upward in soul force. So we're continuing to hear the story of the rise of Kemet. Bastet is commonly known for purification as well as protection. So yeah, that was last week on our last episode of SaCrEd Light Community Nightcap, Emerald Tablets, tablet number 1. And wow, it was some beautiful information, especially to observe and just reflect upon as the I am. And, that's the key as we continue to travel through these studies, is not perceiving these studies as something separate from our consciousness, but reading and studying these tablets from a space of I am as an extension of our consciousness, as basically a reflection back to our own inner self of our journey within when it comes to being a human being in this multidimensional life. Grand Day, Rhonda. Good to see you, Queen. And hello, Bloomsy. Grand day indeed. Grand day. And good to see you, Casey, as well on the Instagram side. So I'm feeling the energy's really flowing tonight. I can feel this is going to be a really good episode when it comes to the information that we're about to come across. I feel a clear channel through me tonight. And before we begin, you guys are curious of what this wonderful thing is right here that I had in the beginning. So this right here is the ultraviolet Tesla technology UV wand. And this UV ray wand basically has ultraviolet frequencies. Ultraviolet frequencies. And ultraviolet frequencies, if you know, when it comes to the medical industry, as well as anything regarding health and energy, that ultraviolet rays is very, very high vibrational frequency. And we can actually barely even perceive it as human beings. So that being said, it's a very high vibrational energy. And along with that, it also is like the physical version of the violet flame, which is a transformative and regenerative energy. So the Tesla technology inside of this has a coil, and the coil directs the ultraviolet rays in a specific way to then convert it into this wonderful directive technology. So you then take the end of it, whatever extension you use, there's multiple extensions, and you place it upon parts of your body. And you can place it upon any part of your body. And basically what it is technically called is electromagnetic therapy. And basically it shoots the electromagnetic therapy with its ultraviolet rays. And there's so many properties, you guys can always look this up, but it helps with regenerating your cells. It helps with removing inflammation and blockages. It helps with the body. So if you have tension in your muscles, your tissue, your ligaments, something massage will just stimulate your cells in your biofield. So this is a wonderful technology for many different things. I've actually used this for my father, and I've used it on his face because he's had a nerve damage and basically disease in his mouth and his gums. And then it kind of goes up behind his cheek area. And we couldn't find a solution for years on how to relieve that for him. And with that being said, we just couldn't come across anything. No doctor could help. And I got this UV wand, and then about 3 or 4 times using the wand, he started having no pain behind his cheek area whatsoever. And it like has never came back again. So we've eliminated the pain in his face and his mouth through the nerve damage he had in his gums with this ultraviolet wand, just a handful of times. So this is a pretty magnificent thing. And if you guys want to check out more about it, I did have a video on my YouTube channel. You can just look on my videos, and it's one of my latest videos, the ultraviolet wand. And I have it linked in my description in that video. But I will go ahead and put the link in here for you guys, actually. And you know what, matter of fact, let me see here. I got you guys. I'm about to do something for y'all. I want to pull it up real quick for you guys, just so you can check it out. I don't know. Okay, here it is. Does it help with irregular heartbeats? Good question, Bloomsy. Well, let me think about that. So I probably wouldn't say necessarily, the properties of this device, this ultraviolet wand, is necessarily directed for irregular heartbeats. This is more so for like, cellular level, skin, tissue, muscle, things of that nature, as well as toxins. I'm sure it could have some type of supportive energy on the surface level for the irregular heartbeat, but the irregular heartbeat is a lot more internal. So I don't feel like the wand will really reach what the irregular heartbeat would necessarily need to restore its balance. Now, what I'm kind of feeling through my channel is for irregular heartbeats, that's something that you kind of want to have more of a herbal base, plant base, nutrient, mineral, vitamin. I'm also hearing chakra, heart chakra, reattunement. Things surrounding what the heart chakra is connected to. And if you're curious or want to deep dive further into what's coming through with that, you can email me and reach out and we can set up something. Because there is something that's kind of, yeah. Thank you for asking that question. Welcome in, everybody. Good to see you, Lula, sister. And as we kind of warm up and gradually move into this space tonight, feel free to, again, hit that share button, hit the like button if you're on YouTube. I really appreciate that. Kind of build up these algorithms so we can expand this space and gather more of our brothers and sisters to come through with these algorithms. I really appreciate all of you guys. And when I say all of you guys, I mean each and every one of you that either just listen, comment, come on and share. I appreciate each and every one of you. And, a little bit about myself, for all of you that may be kind of new to who I am, may be curious a little bit about more of my history and, what I've been doing and how I got where I am. I've had a journey. That's for sure. I've had a journey. And my journey has been many ups and downs. That's for sure. Including, being in the streets, selling different party drugs, being high on them all the time, a lot of psychedelics. And long story short is I ended up getting set up undercover. And after I got set up, I did end up going to prison for a year. But before I went to prison, I had, for a few years, been practicing Reiki and meditation and breath work and chakras. And this is all about like 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago, when I was like 18, 19 years old. And, I was learning Reiki from a Reiki master, just like, untrained. Like I was just doing it out in life, being trained. And with that, I just learned so many different things. Shamanic healing, the true ways of using sage, like all that stuff. And I also found out about my mediumship abilities in 2015 as well, when I channeled my father's uncle while I was in jail. And after I had that experience, that solidified that for me. So then after that, I ended up channeling different guides, family members. Some of those guides were SaCrEd, Thoth, Anubis, Archangel Michael and the Archangels, Yeshua, the Lyran Council, Pleiadians, Ashtar Command. Like I've really, it's been a journey. It's been so beautiful. I'm not sure what tonight's leading me to to share more about myself with you guys in this wonderful nightcap space, but I'm really appreciating it. I feel like I've just kind of been on the go with my podcast and shows with you guys, that some of these spaces I haven't really introduced myself to you guys. And I think tonight is a day to take it a little bit slower. And I'm really appreciating taking it a little bit slower tonight. And we'll go ahead and drop that link for you guys for the ultraviolet wand, so you guys can purchase your own. All right, so on the YouTube side, I got you in the chat right there for the ultraviolet wand. And yes, it does actually help with hair loss as well, because it re-stimulates, your cellular growth. Having trouble connecting? Please check your internet connection. What? It's right there. Anyway. And if you're on the Instagram side, if you guys just look on the screen, you guys can see the website right there. I'll just go ahead and put it in the chat for you guys on the Instagram side too. I love being a resourceful person when it comes to the things I have and know for you guys. That's another thing I could get back to a little bit here. There you go. So on the IG side, that's the website to get your ultraviolet wand if you'd like to get one. I highly recommend it, honestly. Like, I recommend that every household has one. Every family has one. And it's only $88 after shipping. Like, what a steal for technology like that. That's the technology of the future, basically. It's ancient, but it's the technology of the future compared to where we are. And it's good for all ages too. Like, it's not gonna do anything to anybody. Now, I wouldn't be like doing ultraviolet therapy on like full speed on your little like infant. That might be a little intense for its skin. Now, if you were to do it though, I'll do it on the very lowest degree, because it kind of does feel like electric acupuncture, basically. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and move forward. And as we move forward, I'm gonna let you guys check out the ultraviolet one. of outwards in action. All right. I guess technology does not want to play the video for us. With that being said, just reach out if you guys want to learn more about the Tesla one. And we're going to move forward into our tablet number 2 of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean. Buckle up and get ready as we get ready to explore some deep esoteric knowledge. And again, another reminder of perceiving this from the I am. Nothing separate from Thoth, but knowing that we are a traveler of time and space as well. Tablet number 2 is about the Halls of Amenti. Oh boy, here we go. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the Halls of Amenti, or the Halls of Records, or the Akashic Records as well. All right. So, the Halls of Amenti. Here we go. Deep in Earth's heart lies the Halls of Amenti, far near the islands of sunken Atlantis. Halls of the dead, halls of the living, bathed in the fire of the infinite all. Far in the past time, lost in the space-time, the children of light look down on the world, seeing the children of men in their bondage, bound by the force that came from beyond. Knew they that only by freedom from bondage command ever rise from the earth to the sun. Down they descended and created bodies, taking the semblance of men as their own. The masters of everything said after their forming, "We are they who formed from the space dust, partaking of life from the infinite all, living in the world as children of men, like and yet unlike children of men." Uh-oh. Sounds like some of us that may be in this space right now. Maybe a starseed, indigo, crystal, rainbow child. We're getting into some interesting stuff now. I'm going to break this down a little bit with you guys. Feel free to comment as well what you guys feel, as you always have a valid perspective as well. And of course, take it or leave it. If it resonates, it doesn't, it's okay. And by the way, you guys can always donate. I appreciate any donations. Donation links are down below in the ticker. And thank you guys. This actually is like, I'll be straight up honest with you guys. This is my living. Like, this is what my life is at this point. You know, I no longer work delivering pizza, managing pizza. I've done everything. I climbed the ladder. And I don't want to work that life. And I want to full-blown stay in devoted dedication to service. So that's what my life is now, is, you know, holding these spaces, transmitting these pieces of knowledge for you guys so you can empower yourself. And along with that, just continue to create retreats and events, workshops, and just continue to devote myself to allowing you guys to be able to be your best versions while also having support and security in your life. You guys are getting a little bit more of Marcus tonight instead of Christo light. Very passionate about this space and what I do for you guys. There's nothing more on this earth. But anyhow, wow. So in this text that we're gathering right here, Thoth is talking about basically a incarnation process, like very simply, as in he talks about how beings in their higher bodies, their soul bodies, as you want to say, gathered together, and they saw, we could also say our galactic ancestors, they saw where the earth was after the sinking of Atlantis and the way that things had been when it came to the ignorance, the self-destruction, the division, the hatred, the wars, all of these different things happening on the planet during this time. Our galactic ancestors decided to come to the earth to help restore the balance and bring light upon the heavy darkness. So that's when you hear about, the star children and these different galactic ancestors, such as the ones that you see depicted in the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, like Sekhmet, Anubis, Osiris, Isis, all these divine figures that we manifested to the earth, our guides, multi-dimensional, different galactic ancestors and council members. And they're about to come back. And when I say come back, I don't mean like they left and they disappeared. I mean come back as in like they're going to be in our normal collective reality on the earth, because that's what we are. We're in relation to all of the cosmos, all of the universe, including other planetary bodies and other interdimensional beings. And there's many councils and many dimensions and realms, and we're a part of all of them. And some of us are part of direct councils. Some of us are a part of, certain royal lineages. There's a lot of wonderful things happening that we're gonna come back to in remembrance of and also activate within our DNA. And I just invite you guys, as we continue forward, to allow yourself to have an open mind, an open heart to the possibilities of what is being channeled to you as something that could be, even greater and even better for you to experience, and to give you even more deeper appreciation and love for what life is and the beautiful abundance and blessings that you have through your birthright. This is what this knowledge is. It's a gift. It's a gift of love, unconditional love, to want to give this type of knowledge and keep this kind of knowledge alive for others, so that they can attain true awareness within their self of their Christ consciousness, their relationship to the source. So with that being said, some of us are in this story that's being told, and we were a part of this incarnation. So it's saying that different galactic beings formed Earth bodies, Earth avatars, and then incarnated through these Earth avatars.
And that's what a lot of us have done. Some of us are from the Pleiades, Lyra, Sirius, Orion, Arcturian, so many others. And we have descended and incarnated here on the earth. Now, dissension doesn't mean anything negative. Dissension is just a term to use for saying that you're going downwards through the dimensions into a lower vibration. And then ascension is raising your frequency into a higher dimension, which means you become more of a light body instead of a physical body. And that is our multidimensionality. So it's being depicted here by Thoth. Like, this is who we are. This is normal, which is why he's just speaking it and just saying it. And this is what we've had the veil of amnesia as human beings on our minds, especially with the mind control and brainwashing that has been programmed through draconian systems. That's a topic for a whole other day. So as we continue here, we'll move forward. Hydration check for everybody. Make sure you guys are drinking, hydrating on clean water. If you guys need any tips on clean water, I have been doing at-home shungite water systems for about 6 years now. And I gotta say, it's been working out very well. I've done my own testing, very clean. Shungite also gets rid of fluoride in your tap water, which is a huge component. A lot of filters and a lot of other things do not get fluoride out of your tap water. If you want to learn more about how to make shungite water, where to get it, you guys can go onto the YouTube channel, SaCrEd LiGhT Healing and Wellness here, and go to my playlist, and then it's under Shungite Water 101, and you click on the first video. I give you guys a full in-depth overlook, go through all the health benefits as well, and then I also give you a step-by-step demonstration on how to set it up and put together your at-home shungite water. So, like I said, man, I'm very dedicated and passionate about giving you guys the knowledge, but not just giving you the knowledge, but also giving you the tangible step-by-step ways of integrating the knowledge I have for you. Whether it's a practice, whether it's a tool to use, whether it's setting up shungite water. I love to make sure that you guys have the thorough understanding and the visual as well of how to do something so that you can feel like you're doing it correctly and that you know that you're doing it in a, I don't want to say like the right way, but in a way that makes you feel like you're comfortable in doing it the right way to you. Okay, so as we continue, then for a dwelling place, well, actually, before I continue, oh man, well actually, never mind, I'm gonna continue forward because he does mention what I was about to bring up. That's the Gemini in me. So then for a dwelling place, far beneath the earth's crust, blasted great spaces, they by their power, spaces apart from the children of men, surrounded by forces and power, shielded from harm, they, the halls of the dead. Side by side then placed they other spaces, filled them with life and with light from above, building they then the halls of Amenti, that they dwell eternally there, living with life to eternity's end. 32 were there of the children, sons of lights, who had come among men, seeking to free from the bondage of darkness those who were bound by the force from beyond. Deep in the halls of life grew a flower, flaming, expanding, driving backward the night. Placed in the center, a ray of great potency, life-giving, light-giving, filling with power all who came near it. Placed they around it thrones, 32, places for each of the children of light, placed so that they were bathed in the radiance, filled with the life from the eternal light. There, time after time, placed they their first created bodies, so that they might be filled with the spirit of life. 100 years out of each 1,000 must the life-giving light flame forth on their bodies, quickening, awakening the spirit of life. There in the circle, from aeon to aeon, sit the great masters, living a life not known among men. There in the halls of life, they lie sleeping. Free flows their soul through the bodies of men. Wow, okay. Let's process that just for a moment. I know sometimes that third eye just gets buzzing and you just gotta process and let it come through. Wow. Okay, so let's go back up a little bit. Okay. Then for a dwelling place far neath the earth crust, blasted great spaces they by their power, spaces apart from the children of men, surrounded them by forces and power, shielded from harm, they the halls of the dead. Oh, okay. So this is talking about Middle Earth. It's talking about the ancestor realms. Yo. Oh, okay. This is getting deep now. Okay. Okay. Guys, you know you got the download when you almost have tears coming out of your eyes. I feel the ancestors right now. I've never felt them so deeply in this moment. I don't know why I'm about to get so emotional on you guys, but I feel the ancestors coming through me. And Emai in shutua imiana sete ku ushine era sutua taya imiana shu usi etiata ukiena shutua imiana usiena tushata imikia shutu imiana kuta imiana sutua paya shina kuto anayanata. Wow, good Lord, man. Phew. Got me super emotional right now. The ancestral energy that I'm feeling. Whew. All right, let's take a moment and let's take some breaths. Something about this ancestral recognition and acknowledgement that we're now journeying into is just very, very potent. It's very potent. I'm really feeling it. And wow, powerful energies. Our ancestors are very proud of us and very grateful for us and the work that we've done on this earth currently, especially from where we've come as a humanity here. And try not to get too caught up in the turmoil and the destruction for transformation that we're in on the planet. And try to remember all that you've done and all that you've accomplished and grown through, transmuted and healed, overcome. Remember, all of that is not for no reason. And there's no other reason why you'd be here alive on this planet right now. If you were just meant to go through all that you have just for this all to end. Step in your power. Own your power. Be in the world, but not of it. Be in the world, but not of it. This is the time to embody the scriptures. Embody the scriptures. Don't worry about other people. If they're embodying scripture, make sure you're embodying scripture. This is the ancestors and what they want us to know. It's time to bring it back to the basics. Get back to fundamentals and values, starting within ourselves. Align ourselves with the 42 laws of Ma'at, the 10 commandments, respect, qualities. Man. Yes, that's right. Sunshine. You can definitely feel the progress in the collective. That's right, and try to stay in the remembrance of that progress, guys. It's really easy to see negativity, but remember the progress that we have been making. And we have been making progress. You know, we're seeing people asking more questions about their health and their diet. We're seeing more healthy restaurants, more healthy recognition. We have global, nationwide acknowledgement that food dyes and chemicals are toxic and poisonous for us now. We're starting to remove red dyes. You know, there's things that we can actually really take and be grateful for. But not just also be grateful, but build momentum of positivity with. And I know we can pick and choose negativity, things that may not rub us the right way, but also don't allow the things that rub you the wrong way to then also negate and take away from the positive things. Allow yourself to see both the light and the dark. even when you just have the tendency to see the dark of something or somebody. And if you can only see the light of something and somebody, remember that there can be darkness within them and that they're meant to go through darkness as well. And that's for everybody, no matter what stage, platform, position, political stance. Like, we gotta really be able to put aside the personal feelings, man. Really. That's how we heal our ancestral lineages. We heal our ancestral lineages by letting go of the past, not continuing to bring it up over and over and throw it in people's faces, or continue to use race and division because of the past. Our ancestors want us to move forward from that. We got to be able to just unite and realize that we're not the people 100 years ago. We're not the people from 70 years ago. We're the people here in 2025. And we have come a long way with unification in this nation, in this world. And we're going to continue. Oh, man. We're flowing tonight. Anyhow, as we continue here, so Thoth is talking about the ancestral realms, which is also the Middle Earth realms. And along with that, if you guys have seen any of the Hindu, at least I believe it's Hindu. Let me check here. So I think it's a Hindu map, but it's a map with the parallel worlds of Earth. Ah, there it is. Yes. Also, how you guys feeling tonight? How was this episode for you so far? Woohoo! I am so glad I found this. Alright, so check this out, guys. This is a awesome Vedic cosmology Hindu map from the ancient times. And this is the way that they depict the Earth. It's not a globe or a flat Earth, it's both. This is how I see it. So if you think about what Thoth is saying and what he's depicting, he talks about beneath the Earth's crest, which, you know, the top of the Earth, quote unquote, would be where you see Jambudvipa, and underneath it says known world. It is the known world. So that's the world that we know of. That's where we are standing on right now. It is the Jambudvipa, the known world. And then Thoth says beneath the crest of that are these different dimensions of Earth, where basically the ancestors go. And Atlantis and other different civilizations sank below the crest into these different dimensions. Then, of course, the realms above, the clouds and the planetary system, Those are the heavenly planes. And these are all parallel dimensions and parallel planes of Earth. And also, if you kind of notice, there's energy fields around them. So they're also like vortexes that are also materializing into planes. You know, the holographic universe or holographic simulation through energetic frequency vortexes, basically, is what we're dealing with here. This is what we're experiencing through in existence. There's a bunch of holographic vortexes of different octaves and frequencies of divine conscious energy from source. Pretty fascinating stuff. So that right there, that's a depiction of the ancient Vedic Hindu cosmology. So it's a big difference of how detailed and depicted ancient Earth maps are compared to the modern one that NASA gives us. Big difference. It's for a reason. So that being said, we'll get back over here to the Emerald Tablet number 2. So he talks about beneath the Earth's crust, blasted great spaces, they by their power, spaces apart from the children of men. So basically, spaces apart from the children of men is just saying those dimensional realms underneath the Earth's surface are the spaces apart from children of men. Then it says, surrounded them by forces and power. So the etheric gaps between those planes of existence that you guys were looking at, they were, you know what, matter of fact, I feel like there should be a way that I can do something for you guys here where I can split I should be able to split this for you guys, I believe. It's very tricky, but I'm loving this new technology we have, Windows 11. It's really cool. Give me just 1 second as I get this split screen for you guys. It's gonna be pretty cool. Let me see here. How is this information for you guys so far? Let me know if this is making sense. If you guys have any questions, comments about, you know, the Vedic Earth depiction and the translation of the tablet. Okay, here we go. All right. So as we can see here now, as we continue, God, I love technology. This is so amazing. Okay. So as we can see here, you guys now have side by side the depiction of the parallel Earth planes and this teaching of Tablet 2 through Thoth. So he talks about, oh God, this is so dope with the depiction. So now, as you guys can even see, wow, this is cool. So literally the text is in alignment with the depiction. So at the top of the text, it talks about, we are they who formed from the stardust, partaking of life from the infinite all, living in the world as children of men, like and yet unlike the children of men. So if you look here now, these top planes, there's 4 of them up here at the top, above this middle pole here. And these 4 planes is, it's what he's talking about. It's where they come from, the stardust of the infinite all. So they come from there and they descend through these dimensional planes. That's descension. Coming down from these dimensional planes, and then to partake on this middle earth plane, or the known world, they had to build through DNA their own earth avatar, and then descend and incarnate into that earth avatar to experience on the earth with the children of men. In order for them to be like the children of men and to interact and experience like an earth person, they had to create a body to then incarnate into, to then experience as an earth person. So with that, they're able to then disguise as a human, educate, lead, and teach the human beings on how to unlock their power and self-awareness of their Christ light within. And that's what a lot of us have done that are starseeds. We came from these higher planes, we descended into that middle plane, and here we are on the earth now. So then it talks about beneath the earth's crest, blasted great spaces, they by their power. Those are those lower planes that you see beneath the middle earth, or beneath the center earth, or the known world. So then it talks about the halls of the dead. The halls of the dead is not the halls of Amenti. The halls of the dead is the ancestral planes beneath the earth. And then it says, the children of men were shielded from harm, they the halls of the dead. So due to these planes being created for the halls of the dead, the ancestors and the different spiritual lower beings, that then keeps them separated from those of us that are on this plane, so that there's no interference. So side by side then place they other spaces, fill them with life and with light from above. Build they then the halls of Amenti, that they might dwell eternally there, living with life to eternity's end. 32 were there of the children, sons of lights, who had come among men, seeking to free from the bondage of darkness those who are bound by the force from beyond. Deep in the halls grew a flower, flaming, expanding, driving backward the night. Wow. Powerful. So then as we continue, deep in the halls of life, gray flower flaming, expanding, driving backward the night. Place in the center a ray of great potence, life-giving, light-giving, filling with power all who came near it. Place they around it thrones, 32 places for each of the children of light, placed so that they were bathed in radiance, filled with the life from the eternal light. There too, for their time after time, placed they their first created bodies, so that they might be filled with the spirit of life. 100 years out of each 1,000 must the life-giving light flame forth on their bodies, quickening, awakening the spirit of life. So what it sounds like to me is there's some type of numerological sequence that's kind of like a code being given by Thoth. And I'm not exactly sure what the 30 and the 2 is meaning. That's an interesting one that we'll have to process. But now what is pretty interesting is 100 years out of each 1,000 must the life-giving light flame forth on their bodies, quickening and awakening the spirit of life. So what sounds like to me with this part is he's describing a natural cycle in the universe of some sort. Maybe a cycle of ages when it comes to the earth. So maybe for 100 years of each 1,000-year cycle, we go through a very purifying and awakening process that helps us be able to anchor and become aware of our higher dimensional self. I think that's what I'm kind of getting from that, is that we're being given the key of one of the cycles of nature here, is that we go through 100-year period of each 1,000-year cycle or age of awakening quickly to the spirit of life. So then it says, in the circles from aeon to aeon sit the great masters, living a life not known among men. There in the halls of life they lie sleeping. Free flows their soul through the bodies of men. So now it's talking about the ascended masters. It's talking about those that have basically been through their walks and their karmic journeys of needing to master time and master the lower realms. And what I mean by that is they have found their Christ consciousness within, and they're now embodied in it. And since they're embodied in that, they're in the awareness and they're in the embodiment of being a eternal soul. So with that being said, since they have achieved that, when they left their incarnation, they were given the opportunity to then become a ascended master or part of a higher council. And then you just sit in that position and serve your purpose for the eternal cycle of life for those that have to go through those different realms of experience. It's a very beautiful, beautiful thing. Wonderful act of service in the universe. It's like the archangels, our family members, and so many others, they fill these positions, and we do it as well. So then it says, they live a life not known among men. That's because they're in a higher dimensional plane. If you guys look at this diagram here, it shows that above the clouds, there's basically like a firmament in a plane that is basically not really like, you can't see the upper planes from the center of the earth in this depiction, because those upper planes are covered by the clouds, as well as, you know, the bottom of the first heavenly plane. So with that being said, we can't really see what's going on up those heavenly planes. That's why it says doing what they're doing, but not being known by men. So then the halls of life, they lie sleeping. So those are the halls of life. The halls of life are the upper planes. The halls of the dead are the lower planes in this depiction that we're looking at. So this is so, like, I am fucking mind blown right now that Spirit just guided us to this. Like, guys, this is just incredible. Like, I really do not plan any of this. That's another thing about me, is I don't plan any of my shows. I don't plan my podcasts. I don't script this. I don't have like a general idea of, you know, what kind of things I'm going to pull up. This is straight up channeled in the moment. Ancestors and guides giving us this information side by side, clearly showing that this Vedic Hindu cosmology map that I've never actually seen this direct version of is literally lining up with and depicting exactly what we're reading out of this second tablet of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. I mean, you cannot make this up right now, guys. You cannot make this up. And here we are in this Leo full moon energy right now. And I'm a Leo moon sign delivering this to you guys as a life path 33 as well. Let me take a breath. I just, cheese and peas, man. This is awesome tonight. That's all I gotta say. If you guys don't mind, you know, hit that share button again. Put some love in the chat. Maybe put some hearts for each other. Thank you all for being here. This is like, we are anchoring some serious knowledge into our system and into our programming. Our ancestors are very much proud of us. This is going to change not just our own being, but this is going to allow us to pass some keys and codes on to our loved ones. This is something else. This is beautiful. So wonderful. Like, wow. I don't know what it is. This is the stuff that's church. This is church right here. Like, I feel like I need to get up and shout or something. Like, this should be blasted on the news right now. Like, guys, headline news. This is kind of like, this is what the earth is that we're experiencing. Like, there's so much more to what we think beyond this physical plane. We have been taught such limited knowledge. Golly. But anyway, picking up where we are. Again, this cosmology map goes all the way back to the ancient Vedic Hindu times. And this is a cosmology map of the parallel dimensions of Earth. And if you guys look at these whole entire parallel dimensions all together, if you look around it as a toroidal field, that's how you get the globe. So basically, what NASA and these reptilian draconians did with the inverted programmings that they've given us is they took this. Now what they did is they made the globe a solid finite thing. So then it made us think that the globe was just a physical finite Earth, instead of seeing that it was a multi-dimensional electromagnetic and energetic plane of vibration and frequency with parallel dimensions within the whole Earth. It's a trip. But Thoth is literally depicting this for us. He talks about being in the heavens, being in the higher planes where the great masters are, and that's the halls of life. So each dimension here you see at the top, the blue, green, orange, and red that's above the middle, that's the halls of life. All of these ones that you see below the center, going downwards, that is the halls of the dead. That's the ancestor realms. The halls of the life is the angelic and the galactic higher realms. So when it says they're in the halls of life, they lie sleeping. Free flows their soul through the bodies of men. So sleeping to them, or sleeping to us, when we're in our soul level, or when we're in our higher light body dimensions, sleeping to us there is us being on the earth playground in the physicality. That's a dream to us when we are in our higher soul essence in the higher planes. Just as here in the physical world, as a human being, being in the higher planes is dreaming to us from this known physical world. So it's like a vice versa thing. It's like when you're in your human awareness, your higher dimensional self is a dream, quote unquote, but it's not actually a dream. It's your higher dimensional self. And when you're your higher dimensional self and you incarnate into this physical world, it's a dream according to your higher dimensional self, because your higher dimensional self is your true self. It's a very awesome thing, man. Like, we are multidimensional. Another thing too is this is a parallel experience. So this is happening simultaneous. So what's happening right now in your human self, there's something attached and connected up to your higher planes as well into the lower ancestral planes that is also simultaneously going through some type of change and shifting with what you're going through here. Super deep. So we're a universe within ourselves. You know, we're a whole entire multidimensional planes within us. And we're really stepping into some serious barrier and bound breakers with this type of knowledge that we're acquiring right now. This is the stuff for the adepts, as they say. This is stuff for the masters that are ready to continue to walk into their power of self and accountability, and to know that they are the alchemist of creation as a co-creator. And it's not for everybody. It's for when you're divinely ready and you resonate with the frequency. And trust me, take your time on this type of knowledge. Take your time on this type of knowledge, because this isn't just simple stuff to be, not giving your time to digest and process and give yourself grace, because we've been programmed into very inverted, very phantom, very false realities that have kept us out of touch and out of balance with this organic and balanced reality of who we are and where we are. Because there is a knowing, there is a truth that can be known by everybody about where we are, what we're in, and what existence is. It doesn't have to be not known. There's no way the creator just 100% wants people to just not know. Because we are the creator. We created this ourselves. So when we start realizing we created this, we created it together, then we just start studying what we created. And then we start alchemizing and changing our whole entire planet and the whole entire galaxy and the whole entire universe. Because we are it. And there is nothing above us. There is nothing more than us. We are the multidimensional planes. Each of our vessels is an instrument of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off this little bit right here, and then I'll slide back over and I'll answer some questions. If you guys have questions, and check out the chat. I can't see the chat at the moment on the YouTube side because I'm doing this split screen, but I'll be able to see it in just a moment. So yes, we're talking about the halls of life being the heavenly planes above the center that you guys can see in this depiction. And it says that the great masters lie there sleeping. And it says when they're sleeping, they're then free-flowing with their souls through the bodies of men. So when they incarnate, they're basically sleeping at their soul level. You see this depicted in the movie Avatar. The movie with the blue avatars, they go into that pod, they sleep in that pod, then they transfer their consciousness into the avatar body. Same thing. Different details, same concept. So time after time, while their bodies lie sleeping, they incarnate in the bodies of men, teaching and guiding onward and upward out of the darkness into the light. So again, this is them talking about descending onto the earth, coming into the earth as human beings, but having extraterrestrial DNA basically. And with that, their extraterrestrial DNA that links them to their higher self allows them to then be able to acquire the knowledge from the stars where they came from to teach on those in the lower planes of the earth so that they can awaken, be enlightened, and become aware of how they can ascend within their self and activate their codes and their DNA of ascension. And that's what we've done. That's a lot of us here. We are those teachers. We are the children of light that have incarnated. So then it says there in the hall of life, filled with their wisdom, know not to the races of man, living forever neath the cold fire of life, sit the children of light. So again, these are the higher dimensional beings that are not in physical form, the children of light. Times there are when they awaken, come from the depths to be lights among men, infinite they among finite men. He who by progress has grown from the darkness. Okay, we haven't even gotten to that yet, so we'll go ahead and pause for a moment. I'm like super activated right now. I feel like I'm on a ton of cacao or caffeine. Um, wow. I mean, this is just so good. I feel that Thoth energy big time. And I'm a Gemini too, so, Gemini is connected deeply to Thoth, Mercury energy. Oh, that's amazing that you already know a lot of this, Lula. Yeah, this is all naturally in our DNA, especially those of us that are the ancient code holders of the Law of One. We very much know this stuff because we are the architects of it. And we're the ones who came here to teach it. So okay. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and take a moment to just we take that all in. I mean, we're on fire, man. I feel this Leo moon energy. We're still basically in the full moon too, for everybody out there. And there was some planet alignments aligned with the moon as well. Do you guys know what planets were in alignment with the moon? I think there's like 4 or 5 of them. Put them in the chat if you know. Wow. What an episode tonight. I love these episodes because I don't know what's going to happen. I just free flow these episodes, channel, trust that Spirit's going to guide, and what amazing things we have come across. And if you guys haven't yet, this link right here on the screen is a direct link to the ultraviolet Tesla Ray wand that you guys can purchase for $88 after shipping. Very beautiful technology, many great properties from this beautiful instrument. You guys can watch a video on the YouTube channel of the technology and how it works. There's so many wonderful things about it. Let me go ahead and let me find an image for you guys real quick. Preach. Wow. A very deep message. Gives me hope. It's great that it was available to all. Yeah, I agree. I'm super grateful that this knowledge is available to all right here on the internet. And you guys can get the link in the description on YouTube. I post the link in the description as well, and on Instagram too. Our higher self lives in this higher realm. Yeah, yep. That's why we call it our higher self. The higher self dwells in the higher realms. That's our soul self, basically. And then, this is you can call it our lower self, or you can call it our human self. And we dwell in this, physical earth realm, the third dimension. And it's very simple stuff when you really just get to the root of what all this is and the knowledge. You actually start to align yourself with simplicity. Sometimes you hear that God is simple, God is order. And then you hear devil. I don't know you really use the word devil, but you typically hear devil is confusion, devil is chaos. So we've been subject to so much chaos on this planet as our normal. We've been conditioned that chaos energy is basically normal, and it's healthy, balanced energy. So a lot of us are not used to healthy, balanced energy as our normal. So when we get around that, or it's coming into our life, it can scare our shadows, and it can, really it could be scary for us, when a lot of light comes into our life and we've been in a lot of shadows and a lot of darkness for a long time in our whole life. It's really like all we know. And this message is coming through right now because there's a lot of us on this planet that are about to go through this. So those of us that know our positions, take those positions and hold space. Continue to have unconditional love. Continue to embody and do your own work as well. And make sure you're grounding yourself into your purpose for those that are about to go through heavy deprogramming and reprogramming, as well as becoming aware of some heartbreaking things, as well as releasing some heavy attachments to this world when it comes to identity, idols and figures, and a lot of things. So take your position if you hear the call. Take your position. Ah, man. Hydration check again for everybody. Hydrate that good water. Again, I'm just really seeing the value in just slowing down in this time period where everything seems to be picking up pace, and everybody in the collective seems to be picking up pace and being reactive, quickly trying to jump to the next move or the next reaction. I feel it's good to do the opposite of that right now. Don't follow along the energy of the crowd and the reactiveness. Be the one that turns around and takes the step the other direction. And recognize where you could not put yourself in a endless loop and cycle of pleasure and pain because of your personal beliefs of the world, which is a illusionary, holographic, shape-shifting world. Remember, man, Ra told us. Ra, the Ra Confederation of the Sixth Density. So if you know about the Ra material, they channel the complexes and the beings Ra from the sixth dimension, sixth density, which is one of those heavenly planes. They stay in their position and they act from their position. That's it. They don't come into this incarnated plane unless, they rarely do it or have a very intentional purpose. But you learn about a lot of that stuff through the Ra material. This has been quite the episode tonight, I gotta say. Wow. Keep your energy safe. Stay grounded. Thank you. Great message to all of you out there, including myself. Thank you for that, Bloomsy. Man, I am just like, wow. Oh, man. So I would like to give an opportunity for anybody that would like to either hop on the live and have a few minutes to share, reflect, give a message to the collective from this live YouTube and Instagram. And I also give the opportunity for anybody that would like a oracle card tonight. So if you would like to come live to share and reflect, send a message to the collective, feel free to put it in the comments. I'll send you the link so you can hop on. It's a free guest platform that you just click the link and open. And if you do not want to hop on, I also invite you to put in the comments if you would like a single card from the Egyptian Oracle deck. I have an ancient Egyptian alchemical oracle deck. Okay. Queen Sunshine would like a card. All right, we'll do. We will get the alchemical deck. Ooh. With that being said, I'm also going to turn the light on so that you can see the card. So give me just a moment here. Ooh. Okay, here we are. Here we go. All right, so we got Sunshine first, and then we'll have Lula, and then we'll have Bloomsy. And I will get to all three of you. So, to be a very simple single card from the Egyptian. And this is a very, when I say, ancient Egyptian deck, this is actually a, ancient Kemetic deck. This goes by the original terms, the original names of the guides. Very awesome deck. And it's called the Book of Doors Divination Deck, an alchemical oracle from ancient Egypt. By far my favorite deck right now, for pretty obvious reasons. And Fun fact about myself, I usually don't, I don't know when I've ever really revealed this online, but, or really to many people, but, I just feel free and open and safe with you guys to just share this at this point. But, I discovered back in 2015, when I was like 19 years old, 10 years ago, basically, I discovered through two different psychic mediums that had no relation to each other that I was incarnated directly as Pharaoh Tutankhamun. And with that, I also had to deal with releasing a lot of the energies from passing at a young age during that period, and the reason why. I actually had a big, major throat chakra blockage until I had that awareness of that. And it's crazy because right now in my body, I'm getting chills, and I can feel my body getting like flushed talking about it. But it's deep, the energy that I had to work with because of that incarnation. Also dealing with, the curse of the tomb and a lot of forgiving energy to let go of that curse energy. It's really deep stuff. There's just so much that I've experienced mentally through my consciousness about my DNA and just my soul lineage and path, being a Lyran starseed, having my Lyran self come to my mind's eye while receiving a Reiki session in 2015. And this is at a time where I wasn't really clairvoyant and I didn't really see things through my mind's eye. And it just clearly was a lion humanoid that telepathically unlocked inside my mind that was my higher self. 2015. So you just never know when this stuff will come for you. Keep yourself open and do the things that will keep you in the environment. All right, so sunshine. So sunshine, for you, we have Kerhet. Kerhet is one of the frog beings, the frog medicine. Got the Ankh of Life. So Kerhet is also number 8, if that means anything. And in this book, Kerhet represents the energy of secrecy, the oath to keep silent, to keep the creative operation in perfect secrecy. Ker and Kerhet are the Neteru to whom we have to call for the secret initiation, as there are no intermediaries. These initiations lead to an accelerated spiritual metamorphosis and can give information in the dream state to the higher bodies, to the Ba and Ka. This is the initiation which permits us to transform our destiny. Kerhet is the number 8, meaning resurrection. The final sound, he and her name, describes the bringing forth of light. With love, Kerhet distills the energy from dense matter of the physical to take control of the subtle bodies and the many dimensions of existence. She is the only female primordial with a frog head, showing the dominion over the earth element we must achieve before the leap into the spirit. Ooh, that's so good. So good. So this is basically saying that beneath the surface of what's happening in your life, you're going through a spiritual initiation that is preparing you for a greater version of yourself and for something more. With that being said, you're going to go through a resurrection, which means you're also going to go through a death of some sort. And with that, you're also going to come more aware and come into more of a balance and awakening of the abilities of your higher bodies. And with that will come an integration period. It will become a processing period, as well as reprogramming as well. So with that being said, it also gives you the reminder that in order for us to be able to take that leap into being more of our higher self in our physical body, we have to be able to hold dominant dominion over our physical world. And when I say our physical world, I'm not saying the physical world as a whole and the collective. The physical world as in your physical avatar, your human self is your physical world, your personal world. You got to be able to hold dominance and dominion, sovereignty, your queenship over your mind, body, soul being, that type of dominion. And when you hold that dominion, you're then able to be grounded and anchored into this vessel and into these realms and into the ancestor realms, so that you can expand all the way to the heaven versions, the higher self, and still be anchored and balanced in this earth world as the pillar. So with this also is going to be letting go of old identities, letting go of limited versions that you may have thought you were and could have been your capabilities and, you know, the end game of who you were to become. And just to recognize that you're just beginning in your life and you're just becoming a new version of you now. And there's a lot for you to explore. So, secret initiation and the transmission of occult power. So the transmission of occult power, occult just means, you know, the truth. The occult is truth, knowledge, wisdom. Not the word cult, but occult. So the occult power, the transmission of it, is basically the integration of the knowledge of life, the wisdom and the practices that you've been coming across being integrated into you now through your practices, through your studying, and through your developing. This is then going to open you into being able to leap into more of your higher self. So continue to ground, but while you're continuing to ground, also embrace more of your galactic and your higher self as well. That is your wonderful message. You're most welcome. Did the past life information answer a lot of questions for you? Oh my goodness. Phew-wee. You have no idea. Becoming aware of my past lives helps me in so many different ways. Some of those ways being you activate dormant DNA inside this vessel that you can then activate and utilize in this present life. That helps you restore different characteristics and memories from wonderful and powerful things that you may have done in a different lifetime. So like, imagine if, you were a great pharaoh that was a really good leader and really brought a lot of good things to your people. You can then tap into the energy of how you were such a good leader in that lifetime, and then be able to activate that into your present body. And then all these other things as well. Like I also, during that period, learned I had a shamanic Navajo elder past life as well, that went by Lion Dressed Elder Sensei. And I was a Navajo chief elder. And I had passed away due to the Spaniard War. And then just recently, about 2 years ago, I got a Reiki session in a Reiki share group that none of these people knew about my past life ties. I received a Reiki session and they pulled out a etheric sword out of my third eye chakra. And this etheric sword was a sword that a Spaniard had penetrated into my forehead when I was that Navajo shamanic chief during the Spaniard War on America. And I had that energetically removed from my karmic energy field 2 years ago from a Reiki session. It's unplanned. It's just divine. Like, it is what it is. And while I was in this Reiki session, I also felt and saw all of my tribes standing energetically in a line around me. It's like a proper ceremony almost. So this stuff it's important, because what happens is, these experiences and traumas and other things that we may carry from these previous lifetimes can also still be present in our light body and in our matrix system. And then that can then have damaged DNA inside of us and also cause dormant DNA. And along with that, it can also create karmic patterns and looping cycles of trauma. So then if we figure out what these are, we then can uncover the roots behind why we're dealing with the things we're dealing with in our life right now, with ourselves and our relationships with others. And then we can start to unravel, clear, and fully dissolve these energies and experiences from our being. And then we can move forward, restore our power. It's called soul retrieval with shamans. This is what soul retrieval is. And also you can tap into the Akasha and into, these lives through past life regression. I do offer one-on-one services with Akashic Record, Soul Origin Meditations, which does help you connect with this type of thing, as well as go through a healing process for your DNA. You guys can always reach out to me if you have questions about that. So yeah, it's very deep stuff. And it's just the reality of who we are. That's the thing. And the more that we just accept that we are these multidimensional beings, and that this stuff is normal, and it really, it's the least of what we're capable of in the universe, then we really start to dissolve a lot more of the fear and anxiety, the attachments, propaganda, because we realize who we are. And we don't have to play the games, really. Because it's just like, why? Why? Why am I being told that I'm so incapable, that I don't know what's best for myself, or I don't know how to create a life for my own self or for those that I love. Like, what? I've been a pharaoh of Egypt. I've been the pharaoh that is depicted all over the place. I have the full lifetime experience of that. I have the full lifetime experience of being a Navajo shamanic chief. And I'm supposed to just believe I'm a helpless flesh vessel that just lives and goes to heaven or hell afterwards. That's why if you acquire the awareness of who you are in past lives and who your galactic lineage is, you cannot fall for those limitations. There's no going back. So yeah, great question. Again, Bloomsy. It definitely helped me a lot because it also kind of gives you the map of where you've been, what you've been through, why you're here now, and what kind of things you can bring from those lifetimes into the present. Very good information. I'll have to look into this for more answers. Thank you for this deep dive this evening. Absolutely, you're welcome. I'm really grateful to be here. It's an honor too, and I'm grateful for the Emerald Tablets. I'm grateful for Thoth. I'm grateful for just all of this. This is just so phenomenal and amazing. So we'll continue forward with the cards before we drift into too much else. So Lula, if you're still here, looks like you are. I'll go ahead and pull a card for you. Whoa, that's trippy. Whoa, what are the odds of that? What is happening? Yo, you just got the same exact card. And when I say you just got the same exact card, I was literally full blown, detached, not even looking at the card, shuffling. And I had shuffled a couple times already. And it just slid right onto the keyboard. Like, what? It just smoothly slid out onto the keyboard while shuffling a couple times already. Whoa. The magic in this room tonight. This is what the Nightcap Lounge is all about, folks. This is what SaCrEd Light Community Nightcap is all about. Bless, 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 man. Ugh. We're going for a marathon tonight. We're going for a marathon. We're gonna see how long we can last until the battery's about to die. Turning the screen light down. We're gonna really enjoy this energy in this space tonight and keep this baby open as long as we can, because the ancestral energy that's coming through right now, this is something that's almost been unmatched. Man. Hit that share button. Invite some community, invite some loved ones to hop in, get some doses of this beautiful medicine. Man, we have gone through the beginning of Emerald Tablet number 2. We have talked about and compared it side by side, intuitively, unplanned, with the Hindu Vedic cosmology map of the multidimensional planes of Earth. Oh, man. Like, wow. You guys can also tune in and watch the replay, different segments as well, anytime. I also covered and talked about the ultraviolet ray wand, which is a Tesla technology. Yeah, Lula, just reach out. I can definitely connect with you regarding your message. Wow, so you got the same card as Sunshine. Well, with that being said, I'll let that settle in. We'll move over to Bloomsy. I'll do your single card from the Egyptian Oracle. If any of you guys would like a Oracle card from the ancient Egyptian deck, feel free to let it be known in the comments, and I will pull a card for you. Okay, so we have Mafdet for you. Mafdet. So we got Mafdet is basically like a female. Then she has these two men in chains, and they're on their knees. And it's almost like she's about to execute him, kind of. So we'll go ahead and see what Mafdet represents for you from this deck. Okay. All right, so Mafdet represents she who sees clearly. So as Maat, if you guys are familiar with the goddess Maat, M-A-A-T, she represents cosmic law and the sacred order in the universe. So Mafdet personifies law on earth. The judicial authorities who try and judge the defendant and who exact punishment when the individual is found guilty of a crime. She too is found in scenes of the Hall of Judgment. The Hall of Judgment we haven't talked about yet in the Halls of Amenti, and I'm sure we actually will be talking about the Halls of Judgment at some point in these Emerald Tablets. And the Hall of Judgment is basically where you see, you know, the weighing of the heart on the scale. That weighing of the heart on the scale, when you see I'm gonna go ahead and I actually believe I have a picture of it that you guys can see. Yep, there it is right there. So if you guys look here at this little background, and you see over here, right here, where Anubis is down on his knee. Or no, he's sitting. Yeah, he's kneeling. He's kneeling on a platform, and he's at this scale. That's the scale of the weighing of the heart. So this is a depiction of the hall right here. The Hall of Judgment. Osiris is over here. If you guys look, this green guy sitting in the chair, that's Osiris. Osiris is also my current guide in my Egyptian deck that I have on my desk. Osiris represents, the king energy. Pluto, he represents rebirth. So with that being said, he's sitting there at the throne because he represents the king of the underworld. He is the one who allows you to be able to go through the process of rebirth. And he helps hold that in the law of one. He's a guide in that dimension of the hall of judgment to help you be able to know if your soul karmically is ready to be able to ascend to a higher dimension energetically. Very awesome stuff. You can also see this stuff depicted in many ways. If you guys are familiar with the cartoon movie, it's a Pixar movie, Souls. The movie Souls, it shows this kind of stuff. It shows the different planes. It shows the higher planes. It shows the incarnated planes. It shows, the different structures of the higher planes and how it's organized and what it can look like and what it takes to go into a human form. So we're starting to see more and more of the truth being depicted in clear ways through different things. So it represents justice, punishment, paying for some wrong done, and imposed discipline of an earthly or spiritual nature. So with that being said, this is also representing either, you're either kind of going through some karmic lessons due to some actions that you may have taken within your life, but going through these karmic lessons is ultimately going to help boost you forward with newfound wisdom, newfound strength and awareness of yourself, with better boundaries, better awareness, and a deeper connection with who you're truly meant to be. So try to give yourself grace and don't take yourself too hard while going through your karmic lessons right now. And know that the more you can let go and allow these lessons to be integrated and to take the steps necessary in order to step through the patterns, then you will continue to integrate and ascend with yourself. But just know that the harder you are on yourself, the more you're resisting, causing tension on your own being. So just remember to give yourself grace, be patient with these new patterns and these new ways of life that you're trying to take in. So that's the card I got for you. I'm also hearing just really stand your ground and stay in your boundaries and your truth. This is a good time of integrity. All right, so Auntie Patrice, got a card for you. And you got Lord Amon. So you got the very first creator god, Amon. Lord Amon. All right, so Amon represents that which is hidden. So he's the hidden God, as in the eternal God that cannot be fathomed, cannot be seen, cannot be brought into conception of the limited mind. That is Amon, that all-permeating force that is not one solid thing or identity. So with that being said, the personification of the hidden and unknown creative power which was associated with the primordial abyss gods in the creation of the world and all that is in it. So this is the energy of the founder creators. Amon is a cosmic principle not born from any god. He is shown with the ancient serpent CoMmUnIty coiled around him. CoMmUnIty imbues Amon with his primordial power, which is then transmitted to his son Khonsu. Amon is hidden, and only his effects in the material world are visible. As the invisible god with such tremendous creative power, he is linked to the dwarf star on its mysterious orbit around Sirius. And the black and white ram's horns also refer to the energies emanating from the double star system. The most obvious feature of Amon is his idiophalic nature. He is always shown with a phallus in his human form, and his power manifests the lunar fluid in which the animating fire is contained, both of which refer directly to the rituals of sex and generation. So this represents hidden forces at work, the source of creative power. So really, like, what I'm getting from that is trust in the hidden forces that you are feeling and sensing and flowing with you. Trust in those hidden forces and just continue to tap into them and create with them. Lord Amon. And lastly, I'm also hearing, try not to get too caught up on, the known world or what is not hidden as, your limitation of creation or your limitation of what you can do and what you can focus on. Remember that you're in a multi-dimensional playground always. So you don't have to wait on the mundane world. You don't have to wait on anything in the physical world to initiate something or step into a creative mindset of some sort. So that's your card. That's everybody, I believe. Yep. With that being said, I guess we'll allow this to be a good point to close out tonight. I mean, I almost don't even want to close out, but it feels like this is a perfect point. I definitely don't want to continue forward in Tablet 2 because we have got quite the chunk to really sit with and process until next week. And it would just open up and get us going for another whole hour or so if we open up the rest of Tablet 2. But you guys feel free to surf on this episode, ponder upon the first episode if you would like, in the next week up until next Thursday night, and join me then as we continue into part 2 of Emerald Tablet number 2 in this wonderful nightcap study. If you would like to be a guest, if you would like to share during any of these episodes, reach out, let me know. I always love having community come on, share some open-minded conversation, and talk about some keys of life. I really want to thank each and every one of you guys for participating tonight, sharing the love, receiving, being a part of these mind-blowing and heart-opening moments of connecting with our ancestors and becoming more aware of who we are and our relation to this world and the universe. It's truly one of a kind and a rare time that we're in this planet and humanity. And I just want to say I'm proud of all of you. I'm proud of each and every one of us for being here and being here in this moment, being conscious and just being able to continue to show that we have another chance to continue to grow and evolve. Let's keep it going. So with that being said, that does it for my lives this week. If you guys want to interact with me, be a part of any of my spaces coming up on Sunday night, I have a community space that I'm hosting. If you're interested in being a part of that community workshop space, let me know. And then on Monday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I am going to be dropping the next Yeshua Rose Gold Codes guided meditation journey. And that is going to be with Yeshua channeled guided meditation in ancient Tibet. So we're going to do a little time and space traveling with the mind, astral travel with Yeshua and Archangel Michael into ancient Tibet, and sit with some Tibetan medicine music. And that will be premiering on YouTube as well as Instagram Live at 3:30 on Monday. So that will be available for you guys anytime on the YouTube channel. And you guys can also check out any of these episodes, more of my other shows, as well as my guided meditations, and also more of the Yeshua Rose Gold meditations that I have on there, including ancient Greece, ancient Egypt. The last one was Norse, Viking, Olympians. I mean, it's a wonderful, expanded, creative flow of healing energy that you get to interact with. So again, thank you guys. I really appreciate y'all. And what a night. %. It is about that time. So as we close out, I'm going to formally close out the energy space. And that's going to require me to if you guys haven't yet, give me a follow, give me a like, give me a subscribe, share my content, please. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to donate, feel free to donate. I appreciate that. I love giving my time and energy, my love, but I definitely do not expect or feel the desire that you guys have to do that. But yeah, that's down below in the ticker. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Really appreciate you guys. This is definitely what I devote myself to. I don't work a job anymore. I just want to serve and continue to give myself in these ways to all of you so that you guys can acquire some self-awakening and divine inner power reclaiming, So with that being said, I'm going to close this out with some selenite. We're going to let go and release the cord of this space and this community connection. We give gratitude. Give thanks to all of you, the ancestors, our galactics as well. And we shall now close out. Own yourself, own who you are, be you, let go of the rest. Wholeness and balanced love. Have a beautiful night, y'all. Stay tuned for just a moment as we will transition into a nice recap and reflection of yesterday's fresh episode of Ascending Beyond Limitations, the raw material, with Sandy Marshall out of California. Stay tuned. Take a look at this episode that you can check out on the YouTube channel from yesterday night. Have a good one. So without that quote-unquote abandonment happening, Anubis would never been able to reach his full potential and get taken in by Isis as his new mother. So this is a story kind of demonstrating to you that our wounds, our failures, the things that we deem as the most diabolical, bad or negative things happening to us, they actually kind of set us up for us to then be able to ascend into something different or better for us.
Okay, so the service to self-polarization, according to Ra, is that you have service, you have the choice, your higher being has a choice to choose service to self at all costs, regardless of anybody. You can also choose the polarization of service to all, which is
not holding on to any thoughts, emotions, just allowing them to process and pass.
for the life experience, those catalytic experiences that will aid it in and its